The green. I see
Are we live, pal?
I see green. I see receiving your content. Your audience will see it in a moment. Get ready.
Oh, shit. Get ready. Oh, my God.
You are live. The internet can totally see you now.
Oh, my goodness.
To stop, use your encoder. Thank you.
Hello, Internet.
Thank you, YouTube.
I fucking missed you. We back.
We're here.
Episode 123. Anthony, start the motherfucking music. Yes. Back from Toronto. Anthony has been on the road as well. We have been away. And even though we have been far from our mics, you have not been far from our thoughts. And there's so much to talk about. A monumental experience in my life, my very first time cornering in the UFC. And I took notes to make sure that I had things to talk about with you guys because I didn't want to forget anything. And I want to make sure that I can share that experience with you as thoroughly as possible without completely fucking boring you. And that is the primary goal of today's podcast. Episode 123, the 123 kid, motherfucker.
All right.
Young Anthony's behind the switches.
Yes. Hi.
We both behind mics.
Yes.
And I'm not behind bars.
There you go.
And I might have been. I could have easily gone to jail while we were in Toronto. It could have gone that way, but cooler heads prevail. And now, Anthony.
Hey.
Let's start the motherfucking show. So I'm taking these off. I'll just make sure I kiss the microphone for most of the day or the night.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
If you will.
You're fine. You talk a lot and loud. Hey, man.
So, how was your time this week? What did you do this week?
Besides do work, recorded 2 podcast episodes, and then try to explain, basically, I try to explain married men how I get girls, and only one guy understood it, and it's the guy that everybody would least expect understood it. I think I sent you a text message, but it probably never went through to you.
Oh, yeah, I was in Canada.
Yeah, so I went through, I think what did the text message read? Let me disconnect myself. But what did it say? The text message said, this was, by the way, what time was it when I sent this to you, too? This will be amazing. It was a 1:20 in the morning. The hardest thing to explain to men about women is not to come in them. And only one person understood that.
Wow.
One person understood it.
That's where we're starting shit.
Yeah. I had to explain. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hello. Let's talk about ejaculating inside of other humans.
There you go. And so
Let's start right there.
I had to explain that to I explained that to people I work with that are much older than me. Only one guy get it, and I knew he understood it because he's like, yeah, I've been selfish for 10 years. You know how long it took me to marry my girlfriend? 9 years.
So, when you say they didn't understand, what do you mean?
He's like, why would you never do that? Why would you not want to come inside of a girl that you just get to fuck? And I'm like, oh, that's all you want, huh? That's what you want. You want them to fuck you, and then it's over. I don't want to lay all my cards on the table. There's a saying I believe in. I hold my ball sack up to the sun. I see I pretend like it's fuel. I'm not trying to run empty. I'm trying to always be full. So that's what I presented to them.
It's important to maintain the purity of your essence.
Exactly. You just fight it. You're just fighting it off. You're just trying to fight off the urges. I'm not beating off. I'm not doing anything now. But I tried to explain. I had to explain that to him. Only one guy got it. This dude, he's an oddball, and he's got one short arm, one long arm. He's got like a sleeve tattoo, and like he's just like
on the little arm.
Huh? Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. And so, like, the way I know he's just a different human being, he's like, one day I was on my way to Vegas, and this guy on the plane was wearing a pinky ring next to me. So I asked him, hey, sir, how'd you get that pinky ring? And then he had a long conversation about it. And at the end of the conversation, the guy's like, you seem like a nice guy. I'm going to give you a tip. So when you land today, there's going to be a race at like 3 o'clock. You should go to that race.
What kind of race?
A horse race. You should bet on that horse. And then after you're done with that horse, you should bet on the next horse. And then after you're done, you should end your betting and just walk away. But you should put all your money on it. He does it, wins $40,000.
What?
Exactly.
So dudes with pinky rings are oracles for gambling? Is that the moral of the story?
I guess so. So that's what he told me. He said, but then he's like, that's how I've become addicted to gambling ever since then.
Whoa. Look,
just looking at a basketball game. He's like, I got the spread.
If your first betting experience ends with you busting a $40,000 nut,
Yeah.
you might get into it.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Yeah. But that's the level of guy I understood. He's like, yeah, I understand perfectly what you're talking about, Anthony. So
I think it's a real thing. I don't know if I made it up, like based on experiences.
what? The no coming?
Yeah.
No, I mean it's the truth. Everybody, it's a talent. It's not a talent. It's a task. It's something that you just have in your head.
Well, let's make sure that if you don't know my take on this, which is we're opening with this, but fine, good. I don't even know why I'm slightly uncomfortable about it. Like I'm a wild motherfucker. Maybe I'm just too sober right now. Like I'm sipping to my beer. I'm like stone cold sober. But so the idea is, I think there's something to being fluid bonded with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, sex is about procreation, right? Like, of course, it's fun, and we know that already, and it doesn't have to be about procreation, but that is the essential nature of it, right?
Right.
If you climax inside of someone, you give them the feeling, the sensations that come with making a person. When it's just the friction and the touching and all that, that's the fun part. But when you give them the feeling of the pulsing inside of them and stuff, like the way that they get bonded to you is way, way stronger, much more difficult to sever. And you don't need to be doing that with everybody you make out with unless you're in a relationship that you want to be in.
Right.
Just my take on it.
Yes. And so I have a very similar idea but I take it to the extreme is that you just don't come inside anybody. And then, but then you cause a psychological damage to your relationship. But that's a different story. We don't have to get into that part. But like all I'm saying is that that was my thought for the longest time is like, why are they always making like jokes about men coming too quickly or making it? And if that's the norm, I don't want to be the part of that norm.
I wouldn't say it's the norm. It's everyone's experienced it. It's normal that it's experienced.
Right, but
it's not the norm that it is the regular thing that happens.
But it's like everybody like it makes it like a joke, like, you know, like we ordered pizza. We're gonna order pizza, baby, when I get frisky. So what we're gonna do the other 28 minutes. So it's always you always hear that joke. Like I heard it in all those like silly sitcoms on TV as a kid, and I was like, this is fucking whack. Like, is this what guys do? Like I'm not gonna ask my dad, hey dad, you fucking take like 2 minutes to come when you're banging my mom when you feel obliged. No, I wouldn't ask him that. That's the only adult that I knew at the time that I thought even remotely had sex. So like nobody else I knew. I'm not gonna ask my friends, hey man, how long does it take you to come?
They're gonna lie.
Yeah, they're gonna lie. B, it's gonna be weird. Like I've already dealt with some weird interactions with people talking about their like jerking off and sexual habits as a child. Like telling me that, yeah, man, we used to jerk off in a circle and it smelled like chlorine. And I was like, okay, it's time for me to not be friends with you. And that's the reason why I never joined wrestling is because I heard that shit from those wrestling dudes. And I was like, I told you, man, G-strings and blonde hair and jerking off in a circle. There's a lot of weird things I heard about when I heard about wrestling. And that's the things that came from the different people.
I've never participated in a circle jerk, and I wrestled my entire childhood.
Well, New Jersey's a weird place. That's the reason
Apparently.
why. That's the reason why they were winners.
Well, some of them were winners,
That's
like Blair.
There you go.
You think those dudes are doing that? Is that a Jersey thing?
Ask Frankie Edgar.
I don't want to ask him. I'm gonna get punched in the face.
See what he says.
Hey, Frankie.
Hey, Frankie.
You're coming up in Tom's River, right?
Yeah.
You ever did a in front of other friends, you know?
I mean, he was fucking like what, a hop and a skip and a jump away from my town, so maybe.
That's dark. That's dark.
But yeah, other than that, did some episodes. Got really pissed because people tried to force drinks upon me, and then I went home.
Good story.
Yeah, it was. What about you? Nothing exciting as yours.
Well, all of it wasn't exciting. It was just cool.
Yeah, still exciting. Cool things are exciting.
Yeah, I was in Toronto for UFC 231. I had the pleasure of cornering Jessica Evil Eye, and it was a wonderful experience. Like, I wouldn't take any of it back. It was fantastic. I'm really glad that she got the W, split decision winner, and that places her, what I believe, is in line for a shot at the title. Other people believe that too. She was on Ariel Helwani's show this afternoon, and so is Bullet Shevchenko, who is now the current flyweight champ.
and they were on the episodes concurrently. So Bullet went first, and then they talked to Jess. And Ariel Helwani was like, yo, I think Jessica Aya set herself up to be the #1 contender. Like,
Yeah.
what's up? And Bullet, classy lady, she's like, you know, like, whatever they put in front of me, blah, blah, blah. And then they got to Jess, and Jess is like, let me get that title shot. Let me get that title shot. And I really do think she has earned it. 3 wins at flyweight. 3 consecutive wins at flyweight. The last one being over the #3 girl in the world. I think that earns you the right to talk about titles. So I'm really, really happy for her. And yeah, like I took some notes down about Fight Day.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want to share with you guys. But of course, like we were in Toronto, so weed is legal, quote unquote, air quotes, legal in Canada. Because in my experience, it wasn't entirely legal.
What
Like-
happened?
Well, one, a shop got busted while we were pulling up to it.
Really?
Yeah, we pull up and there's a cop car outside the shop, like directly outside. And I'm like, sketch, sketch. And we pull up and it looks like an eviction notice essentially taped to the door, which, you know, familiar sight for my eyes. I've seen those before.
Okay.
But it was like a court order. And the cop comes outside and he's like, he looks at us and just discreetly says, they'll be open in 5 hours. And I'm kind of like, so why are they closed at all? Like, what's happening? I didn't get too much into the details. Apparently, they weren't even going to be charged. It's just like a little thing where, like, if they don't follow every bit of compliance,
Yeah.
they can get shut down for a while, and then they have to reopen. It's a whole thing. But, yeah, there was a lot of me buying marijuana while I was there, which was just kind of fun to, like, go into a quote-unquote store and buy it. But I've had better customer experiences in people's homes. I've seen better displays in people's homes. So it was kind of shady looking when we got in there. So, but it was still a fun experience. But Fight Day.
Yes.
So the first thing on Fight Day that we really did was after everybody's awake, you get a light workout. You got to lose your breath. You got to get a sweat in right away. And so we did some boxing rounds and a little bit of takedown work to get that sweat up. And Stipe Miocic was gracious enough to join that session and cheer Jess on as she warmed up. And let's see what happened after this. This is why I took notes.
What was he doing there for? What was he there for?
He was doing appearances and shit.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, he was doing appearances and shit. Yeah, and so after she did the morning workout, she had to go and rest,
Yeah.
right? And so the plan was wake up, Jess will work out when she wakes up, and then she should nap or rest and relax until just about the time it's ready to get on the bus. And so the workout was at like, I want to say 9:30 or so, and the bus that picks us up was leaving at 5:15. So we were going to meet up at like 4:30 in her room for like the final little vibe and prep, a little talk, and then onto the bus, right?
Quick question.
Yeah.
So did you guys like there was a thing to like have her stay up the night before super late and then
No,
she went to bed normal time?
no, yeah.
Okay.
Like whenever she normally goes to bed, it's when she went to bed. I'm sure people do that where they try to offset their sleep so that
Yeah.
they peak at a certain time. But she was fighting around 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like she was fighting
Like
on the
why?
main card where she might have to fight at like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where then it might make sense to really offset your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be a fine thing to not worry about it too much. And it was during that downtime that we went to the dispensary and had the little cop interaction, which was funny. And here's one of the cool things. So there's all this like equipment that people use these days that I'm not even hip to. And one of the things that she was doing to warm up was she had her feet on this vibrating platform.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like shaking and shaking and shaking and loosening her up. I thought that was fucking neat. Her chiropractor brought that through. That was fucking neat. And then we were on our way to the staging room, right, where they're going to put everybody in the vans. And so we get into the elevator, and there's a bunch of us in there, and it's kind of packed.
Yeah.
Right? It felt packed.
Yeah.
But there was some room. So the door would open, and people would look in, and maybe I'm going down, but it's too full for me. I'm going to back off, right? So the doors open again on some floor, and there's Faraz Sahabi.
Yeah.
Faraz Sahabi is the head instructor at TriStar Gym, which is famous for bringing about talents like GSP and Rory McDonald, and among others. Like lots and lots of guys come out of TriStar and travel to TriStar just to train. And so I thought Faraz was going to do the same thing everybody else did, right?
Yeah.
No, Faraz debo's the elevator. Faraz just like comes in and he's like, nah, we in here too. He just kind of squeezes his way in. And I was kind of psyched about it. I was like, respect. Like, there's enough room for all of us. Let's stop pretending. Let's get real comfortable. Let's get intimate, you know?
That's funny.
And so we're sitting in the staging room, and you'd seen people walking around the hotel since Tuesday we got there,
Yeah.
right? But in the staging room and on the bus, that's when you start to feel like people getting into their vibe.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're about to go to battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the staging room that we were in, Claudia Gadelia was in that room. Her opponent was in that room, which also meant that Amanda Nunes,
Was there?
who's dating that opponent,
Yeah.
was in the room. Of course, Faraz was there. And I was starting to get into my own thoughts, starting to think, okay, when you get in there and you're walking out, you got to make sure that you are calm. You can't be thinking like, this is my first time, heart beating out of your chest. This is my first time. You got to be in a real mental zone. You got to be relaxed, bro. You got to be real chill, real focused. And then they're like, okay, let's board the bus. And I jump up, grab my bag, start walking towards the bus, and I almost leave my flight jacket in the hotel. And then Jess is like, oh, your jacket. I'm like, yeah, I need that. Like, let's go. And I put on my flight jacket. We board the bus. And then we're chilling in the back. And across from us are guys warming up. Trevor Whitman, Justin Gaethje, and a fighter, I believe his name is Ray Lopez. I don't want to misspeak and say his first name incorrectly. But they were warming up hard, getting ready for their bout. And I remember being on the bus. On the way there before we saw the warm-up. And I was like, I hope nobody throws anything at this bus. Like, I hope nobody goes straight Connor right now and tries to get us stuck on this bus right now. But it was all good. Nobody tried to Connor the bus.
That's funny. So you had that thought in your head. It would have been funny if you said that out loud. Like, man, I hope this guy's strong. Like, shit.
Dude, shit was real.
That's funny.
And so then I'm getting a little bit nervous, and I'm thinking like when we got there and we're watching people warm up, I'm starting to get a little nervous. And I'm like, man, I wish I had a fucking vape pen.
Yeah.
You know? But then I'm like, there's athletic commission people staring at everything you do. So like when you're in the back, the athletic commission is there to make sure nobody cheats.
Right.
You know, like throw some brass knucks in your gloves or some shit, right? Which obviously doesn't really happen, but like they're there, they're watching everything you do. And so I was like, there's no way I can hit this vape pen without somebody seeing it.
Yeah.
So fuck it. I'm just going to have to go in naked, you know? I'm going to go in raw.
I'm surprised you didn't like light up a cigarette just then and there. Like, all right, I'll be right back, guys. Gotta go
I
smoke.
didn't bring them to the venue.
That would have been pretty funny. I think that would have been pretty funny. It's just like, what are you doing, sir? I said, what do you think I'm doing?
So we warmed Jess up, and they're like, all right, it's time to go. And we're standing in the back. And then it was like a moment of clarity. It was like 100% certainty that I belong there. Like, I should be outside the cage at this level. I belong here. And then her music comes on, and we came out to Is You Ready by Migos,
Yeah.
which didn't air on TV, which is a little upsetting because that song was hard as fuck coming out of those speakers in the arena. And
They didn't own the rights to that song.
you hear the crowd, and it was just like, it was beautiful. And as she's like giving me her shit, I felt like she had a level of confidence. And that made me feel so good. I was so happy that like I could tell that in that moment she believed in herself. And like, people go through things in these sports, in combat sports. And like sometimes on the walk out, even though you had a great camp, on the walk out you decide there's some reason why you can't do this. like things
Yeah.
can enter your mind. And I was relieved that none of that had happened. She was completely fucking prepared. And she got into the cage and did her fucking thing. And all the rounds were close.
Yeah.
All the rounds were close. But we won. Split decision.
Yep.
Jess got the job done. I was so fucking happy for her. And I still am. I still am. And she talked to Joe Rogan and called him out for looking at her butt and demanded to be on the podcast, which I thought was outstanding. I was so happy. And then you go to the back and you think, okay, now we're going to fucking let it all loose and celebrate. But no, because she has tons of media to do.
Right.
And
Drug test.
she had to get a stitch in her lip because she bit through and bit her lip
Jeez.
during the fight. So she had to get a stitch. And her stitch was issued by an adorable plastic surgeon lady. She was so cute. So cute. Like, I was crushing on her. Like, real hard. I was lightweight in love. I was lightweight in love with the plastic surgeon.
That's funny.
It wasn't that funny. I was just in love. And then, like, it was sad because I knew I would leave her. And then she does all this media, and I really felt like she did a great fucking job. Like, she was communicating her points very, very well. And she was also, like, giving, I would almost call them, like, exits. Like, after she answered each question, she put a little button on it so that if that was the last question of the interview, it wouldn't be awkward.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she was trained to do that or has just done this so many times that she figured out her own rhythm, but I was really impressed by how well she handled the media. And so there were like 3 interviews. She took pictures for like 20 minutes, it felt like. Like, it was a long time of just dealing with the UFC as like an entity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then finally she's done with all that. And we get back to the locker room, and there's no one in our locker room. Everybody else has already fought.
Right.
Jimmy Manuwa was also in our locker room, and he was in the process of fighting. So we close all the doors, and we turn on Destiny's Child Soldier and just start dancing, like, super hard, and, like, laughing and singing. And that song became a theme because Kobe the Don. And look out for him. Look out for my homeboy Kobe. And if you don't follow Kobe the Don on Instagram right now, you are fucking up your whole life. Like, that man is going to be special in this game. Like, I'm saying it right now. Be warned. All you 35s, 25s, get fucking ready. Like, we saw a few of you in the back, and I'm saying, like, he's like a pit bull. He was sizing you motherfuckers up, and he liked how he looked. You know, he liked how he felt looking at you. So be ready. I'll put the UFC on notice right now. I'll put him on notice right now. Kobe coming. Be ready. But Kobe, while she was cutting weight, just randomly started singing it, like,
Really?
like, and dancing, like, like swag, like. And so it just seemed like the right thing to do. And when the fucking fight was over, we just started dancing to Soldier. It was so fun.
I saw extreme twerking on Instagram.
There was some extreme twerking on my Instagram.
Yeah.
That was Kobe. Kobe. That's what I'm saying. He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's a legend in the making. Or really, he's a legend who you haven't discovered yet. You just don't know.
That should be his fight celebration. He gets done. He's like, he has him cue the music, and he just starts twerking against the cage.
I disagree with that. But it was still really funny. And then it's like, okay, post-fight celebration time. So we go back to the hotel. We get to the bar. Everyone starts gathering. And we watch the main event.
Does the shuttle like just take you back like after you?
Yeah, there's a bus that takes you back. So like, once the stuff is going on at the UFC, there's a bus that goes back and forth from the venue to the hotel every 30 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there's also fucking catering in the back.
That I believe that must have been like amazing.
It was good.
Yeah.
Like, good food. Yummy chicken, yummy steak, and ice cream.
Yeah.
And I brought my Lactard pills.
There you go. So you went.
And I realized I had them in my bag.
So you're getting ham.
I lost my shit. I was like, I'm going to eat ice cream. And they're like, cool. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I haven't like eaten just ice cream in a long time. It's about to go down. So I made myself a little sundae after my dinner. And then Faraz sits down next to me. Like maybe 2 chairs over. But no one in between us, you know?
Right.
And so I asked him, I was like, excuse me, what's the dorm situation at TriStar? Because when he does those little podcast videos, he'll mention it.
Yeah.
And I think even sometimes in the corner, it'll say like TS dorms.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, fuck, man, how much are those dorms? How much do you think they are?
I don't know. I have not a thought because I don't know what the pricing structure for MMA. But what's the? I guess like what would you? I guess what does the dorm include? Is it just like?
I didn't ask. I don't care.
I don't know then. I have no. Base.
$20-$30 a day.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, word?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. He was like, and if you come up, he's like, are you a pro? And I was like, no. I'm not a fighter. I'm just a jiu-jitsu guy. I had 2 amateur fights, but I'm a corner man now. And I want to improve my skills, and I want to be in the best environments in the world. And one of those is yours. And so my plan was to go to New York, train with John Danaher for a few days, get whooped by dudes with the last name Ryan and Tonin, just get whooped for a while and learn a bunch, take some privates, and then take a train to Montreal and spend time with you. And he was like, take my number down. And when you're ready to do the trip, shoot me a text and we'll arrange it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I tried not to like mark out, but I'm like, now I've got Faraz's number in my phone. That's weird. But at the same time, not. It's not weird. Like, I should have had Faraz's number. Like, there's a bunch of numbers I still need to collect. Like, I don't have Daniel Camarillo's number. I don't have Danaher's number.
Yeah.
I need these phone numbers. These are the people that I want to interact with. These are the people I want teaching me shit. And sharpening the things that I think I already know. Calling me out on the shit that I think I know and being like, no, it's really like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that was very generous of him. Because he could have been like, oh, yeah, just email the academy. But he was like, hit me on the jack.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you very much.
That's
and I
cool.
will do that. Like, that's getting followed up on. Like, I'm not selling wolf tickets out here.
Yeah.
Like, I want to earn my spot. And the best way to do that is to continue to improve, continue to grow. And so that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, the catering was dope. And then we got back to the party, you know, for oh, yeah, our friend won. And we watched
Oh, yeah, my friend won.
we watched the fucking main event fight. Brian Ortega. Chin, balls, galore. Max Holloway, though, outstanding performance.
Hands.
Damn.
Hands.
He put them hands to the boy right there.
Defense.
So it was very impressive and inspiring by both guys. I was inspired by the performances of both men. And then the night winds down and everyone's saying goodbyes and back to their rooms and congratulating Jess and taking pictures with her and stuff. And then I'm like, I don't think I'm ready to go to sleep yet. And so I start partying with a few of the homies. And I did some things I don't normally do. Like cocaine. But only a teeny bit. Like literally a teeny tiny bit.
So cut to a week ago. I'm done with that drug. I don't do that drug anymore.
Well,
cut to today.
Look. It was a celebration.
I understand. It's just funny. It's like literally. I think it was like literally last episode or 2 episodes ago. I was like, yeah, I'm just too old for that. I don't do that stuff anymore.
I don't do it anymore.
And then like it's like cut to this episode.
I did like a little bump, you know, and just chilled and chatted with friends for a while, and then I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go to bed. So I'm walking down, and I'm with my homeboy Justin, Ronnie Rotten, who's been on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're walking down into the lobby, and some cunt comes up to me, and he's like, he says some sentence that didn't make any sense. And then he's like, well, you are kind of black, though. And I go, yeah, it's a funny thing, isn't it? Like I'm kind of black. In fact, I'm pretty much all black. I just don't really sound like it sometimes. And he was like, yeah, but you are pretty black. And I was like, where's this going? Like, let's push the gas on this. Like, what's your angle, man? And, like, as I'm talking to this dude and, like, ready to fight. Like, I'm already ready to fight.
Yeah.
I see Justin dip around the corner. Now he's talking to security, and then security gets behind the dude.
Yeah.
So now I can't fight this dude.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I can't hit you. So as soon as security spoke, as soon as they said anything and he turned his head, I just walked.
Yeah.
I just walked away. And I was so mad. I was so angry that I didn't get to smash him. And so then I go over to the front desk and I'm like, well, what's the policy? Are they going to make that guy leave? And they're like, well, he's a paying customer, so no. And I go, okay. So I go back up to my room for a second. And I try to take a deep breath and hit this vape pen and not care about it. But then I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm going downstairs and fighting this motherfucker. So I go back downstairs thinking that he's probably in the same spot. And I base this information on this interaction that I watched during the bar.
Yeah.
So while we're at the bar watching the main event, a dude tried to skip out on his tab.
Yeah.
And if that happens in America, how long do you think it would take him to get bounced out of the bar?
Pretty long time.
A long time to get him out.
Again, like you mean, like if he leaves.
No, he attempted to leave. They caught him.
I caught him.
Now, once they're talking to you, hey, bro, we caught you doing this. It's time to go. You got to do this, and then you got to go. How long do you think that interaction would be?
It'd be a couple minutes until the guy said either yes or no, and then the police came.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a couple minutes.
Right.
Right. So for 30 minutes, they're talking to this motherfucker. There's like 7 quote-unquote bouncer security people standing around, and they're just negotiating with some cunt for 30 minutes. So I'm like, they're probably still negotiating with this motherfucker. I'm just going to go downstairs, have a seat, cross my legs, and wait till security walks away and fucking bury him. That was my intention. But when I got down there, he was gone. So I went back to my room unsatisfied, went to sleep, and wrote a little piece on Instagram in my story to make myself feel better.
Shout out to Rodney Rotten and Father Time for making those things happen and not happen.
Yeah, like I could have easily spent that evening in jail.
You definitely would not be able to come back to Canada.
And I wouldn't be allowed to come back.
Yeah.
You can't do violent shit in another country and then get invited back. That's not going to happen. So
Exactly.
unless it's sanctioned violence.
Right.
Like if I were on the UFC card, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, even with the Nazi cunt motherfucker, it was awesome.
What makes him? I want to know. I want to go back to this guy. So what did he say to you that was the first uneducated conversation he had with you? Like what was that?
No, I mean it was. I don't remember the first thing he said.
Okay, it was just
like mumbly weirdness.
Okay.
And I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he was like, black, and it was the way he said it. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, look, you want to go? Let's go. Like, what the fuck is happening here? But I think he was afraid to say naughty words because when you say naughty words, you kind of greenlight people in a way. People forgive you. Like, if somebody calls you a nigger and you punch them in the face right away, no one's gonna get shook.
Plus, you're in Toronto, so I think it's a pretty liberal place. So I think you might got.
Oh, it's very liberal.
Yeah, you got away
too
with
liberal.
It.
But if someone just says black in a weird tone, you're not allowed to just whoop their ass. Like it's like people are aware of that. Like
yeah.
So I wanted to bury that dude. I still do, but
you gotta play the reverse card. Like nigger, is that what you said to me? You call me a nigger? Huh? You gotta say it loud.
That's entrapment, though. You know.
That's all you got. Hey man, you can't give yourself the green light. You're trying to justify it for yourself. Hey man, there's nobody else here in that moment in time. It's just you and that guy.
Well, I'm glad that nothing happened.
There you go.
I'm glad. So.
Just give me some advice.
Because that would have ruined things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it kind of would have.
Would have put a damper on things. And then who wants to take around some hothead who's getting into fights?
That's true too.
So yeah. So I'm glad that I did not beat the fuck out of that guy, even though I wanted to. And it would have been easy. It would have been easy. Like, he wasn't like stumbly, but he was a little bit like wobbly, like rocking back and forth on his feet. You know what I'm saying? A nice clean elbow to the jaw.
Come on, man.
It's a wrap.
Just need to trip the dude and call it a day. Just trip him, get up, and just go about your way.
But yeah, it was outstanding. And then it's home and right back to business as usual.
Yes.
So this morning I woke up. 6:15, I'm at the gym. Lifting, well, technically not lifting. Today was handstands, pistol squats, rows, planche push-ups, and kettlebell shit, the 13 down. So I didn't really lift. Well, I guess 13 down counts. Swings count.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, squats. So we back to that barbell life.
I have no idea what my workout's going to be. All I know is that it's a surprise for me. It's a nice surprise.
Well, you were talking all that sweet shit while I was gone, Anthony.
I was forced into a situation where this was going on Facebook. I just knew it was getting either sent to you directly or getting recorded and put it somewhere. So I was just like, all right, well, this will be no fun if I just say nothing. For nobody would.
So what you're saying is you're trying to bury our trainer.
Yes, exactly.
First
I
of all,
am.
you're burying Matt Levy.
Yes, I am.
You're like, Matt forced me to cut a promo on you.
He didn't force me, but he did say, Darren, what do you want to say to Darren? And I was like, well, I don't really want to say anything to him. I'll talk to him when I see him on Monday. But I was like, all right, what will I say to him?
And what did you say, Anthony?
I said, hey, man, I'm coming for your spot. I'm going to take your PRs. I'm going to crumple them up.
Yeah, you were talking all that sweet shit, but I was going to crush me at weightlifting now.
Yeah. And then my dad got upset. Dad got very upset because Darren's like, come on, bet, cuz I'll fucking bury you, something of that nature. And then I get a call on Sunday.
I did say I was going to fucking bury you.
I get a call on Sunday like saying, hey, what's wrong with your friend? I was like, what are you talking about? That everybody gets older, they always like mix up everybody's name with somebody else's name, and it takes them like 3 or 4 tries to
That
figure out.
D'Artagnan motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like,
What's his name?
yeah, it's like they'll call me like Gerard, Jamel, it's like Anthony. Like, yes, that's me. And so they're like, why is he got cursed? I'm like, I don't know, dude. What are you talking about? They go look like, oh, he said fucking. Yeah, I'll just hide it from people. He's like, you can't do that, man. You're professional. And I'm like, just because he can say curse words, I mean you can. And I'm like, I didn't say any curse words. I know, but still, I'm just trying to tell you. I'm like, all right, Dad, thanks. And my dad liked it too.
He's like, yeah, like. He's like, this is bullshit. Don't let him do this. Like.
And then I was so irritated, but the best thing about it was he was right, because then right after that, somebody from my work liked it too. I was like, fuck, you're right. All right.
Well, I don't think me swearing will impact you. I think you swearing is bad.
Yes, I think me swearing would be bad, but I also know that it's just like it's how you represent the brand. So like, even if you don't say anything,
Well, feel free to delete anything I ever put on there.
yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. I just hide it from people.
Look, I didn't swear on the internet for a long time.
Yeah, he's free, Dad. My Dad, you don't understand.
I was being a nice boy for a long time, but
Dad, you don't understand.
since we took the fucking gloves off,
Yeah.
I've been doing better.
Yes.
So the gloves are staying off. But I understand that there's some value in being able to not swear, like the Henry Rollins model.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins doesn't swear online. And he doesn't swear in real life to the best of his ability, which is pretty good. Like, he doesn't swear. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
However, I am going to do that month in January where I try.
Like, was it the internet or forever?
Just for January.
No, maybe like, is it internet or everywhere?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
But it's not forever.
Forever. I call everything's forever.
It's kind of like No Nut November. It's like, oh no.
But
No gibberish January? Like,
no exclamation point, hashtag, $, asterisk.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna cut down on that shit.
For sure. For sure.
I still don't know what I'm gonna do when I slip.
Just give me $1. We'll keep it in a jar somewhere. I won't spend it. We'll keep it in a jar. We'll leave it.
We'll give it to the babies.
There you go. Put it.
We'll give it to children.
Give it to
Everyone likes to give things to children. It baby faces everyone. Motorcycle gangs get baby faced by giving toys to kids.
There you go.
If you give stuff to kids, you're an automatic baby face.
We'll keep a jar right here on the screen.
Swear jar.
Swear jar, and then we'll see if there's $1 ever added to it. You have to keep yourself accountable too, which I'm sure you will. I believe in you. Unless it starts getting to a high price, and you might see some dollars just disappear.
It's like, dude, I was really broke this week. I raided the swear jar.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids. Fuck your toys. So here's another $1.
Here's another $1. I'm gonna need that back.
shit.
Oh man, that'd be pretty funny.
But yeah, I look forward to the next one. And like, she's supposed to take some time off training,
Yeah, which is good.
but I was concerned because we were getting into a nice rhythm
Mm-hmm.
of training on Wednesdays with these really high level wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I want to learn from them, and I want to give them some of the things that I know as well. And I was like, man, what are we going to do on Wednesday? So I sent a DM to the Don, to Kobe.
Yeah.
I was like, what did you do on Wednesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? He was like, training with my jiu-jitsu coach. And I was like,
Awesome.
my nigga.
Awesome. Awesome.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Awesome.
So yeah, the future is bright for her,
Yes.
Miss I. The future is bright for the people around her. And I'm just excited to be in that environment and be around those people.
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Yeah. Her spot's pretty much cleared up. Like, she doesn't have Nico. Whoever is basically erased.
Show me the top 10.
She will. This not updated.
It doesn't matter.
Let me give it a second. You guys will look this up on your own time.
Show me an image of the top 10.
Because I want this to be clear for my man. So you guys just look up the top 10 and follow along with us. Rankings. Let's see. Flyweight, Khabib, women's flyweight. There we go. Does it not give me? I guess I just have to just show it on the screen. Women's flyweight. So, all right. So this is what it is. She doesn't exist. Nico Montoya is dead.
Calm down.
UFC just shot her
She's
in the
not
head.
dead.
UFC shot her in the head. Look on her Twitter page. Last tweet she sent was in March. She's dead. Caitlin, she's X'd out.
We just beat Caitlyn.
You're moving up a weight class, fatty.
Wait, let's slow down because you're just saying things. Sajara Eubanks is moving up to bantamweight.
There you go.
Alexis Davis.
Very nice. Liz Carmouche.
Alexis Davis has already fought Jess, yeah? She punched her ear off, right? Or is that somebody
no,
else?
that's somebody else. That's Leslie Smith.
Leslie Smith got her ear
Yeah,
punched off.
Leslie Smith got her ear exploded.
But didn't she fight Alexis Davis?
She did. It was in bantamweight, and I don't know what the result was. Let's go look at the.
But Jess has 3 wins at this weight.
Right.
So Lauren Murphy, Roxanne Modafferi, these people who are above her.
She beat Jessica.
Okay.
Mhm.
But still, not at this weight.
Liz Carmouche is. I don't know about Liz Carmouche. Let me just pull up Jessica Eyes.
The gorilla. The girlrilla.
The Gorilla. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yeah.
So
She hasn't done enough at this weight either. Like, I really feel like there's no one that has a case.
No, nobody.
None of them have a case except for Jess.
Yeah.
Nobody in the top 10.
It's a hard sell. Let's see. Did she fight Jessica? I don't think she did. Yeah, it's not. It's a hard sell for anybody else, and I don't know what her. She lost to Alexa Davis and then won one fight. Oh wait, no, she beat Caitlin Chukwuemeka. And then she beat Lauren Murphy. When she
Alexis did.
Yeah, Alexis. No, Liz Carmouche did. Liz beat Lauren Murphy. She beat Caitlin Chukwuemeka. And then
Wait, when did she beat Caitlyn?
she beat her in 2015.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
She beat Caitlin. Oh, she beat Caitlin in 2016.
Still doesn't count.
She does basically.
Since
She does one fight a
what
year.
has she done at fucking flyweight?
Flyweight. Jennifer Maia. 2000. Let's see, she flyweight. Yeah, flyweight. She beat Jennifer.
Like, what's her last fight?
Jennifer Maia.
When was that?
That was July.
Yeah, so in July she got to win.
She got a win in July. She lost to Alexis Davis in December last year. So
Okay, so
not a lot going on.
exactly.
Not a lot going on there. Even so, then basically, yeah, she goes. This lady Jessica I goes right to the top.
Like literally right to the fucking top.
She says, "Sorry, kids."
She fucking straight leapfrogged all these
Sorry,
bitches and jumped up. And when I say that, like I say bitches like I say motherfuckers. Like
it's out of respect.
there's respect involved. Like
But yeah, unless they revive Nico Montoya, it's a wrap, kids. She's a title contender.
now maybe that's their plan.
They gotta go find the hole that they buried her in and dig her up real quick.
Dig her up,
Yeah, dig her up.
make Jess fight her,
Yeah,
and then the winner fights Valentina. I feel like that's the
only thing. You can
that's the
say.
only logical thing.
But if let's go take a search for Nico Montoya, see if we can find her ourselves.
Like no other thing makes any fucking sense. Like either you give her Bullet or you reinvent Nico and make her and Jess fight. I guess you could justify that if you really wanted to try to, but it's unnecessary. That woman didn't want that belt.
You can definitely tell because After that, it's all over. So I don't see nothing new since March. I'm just saying.
So
She's been busy.
yeah, she's doing something else, or at least she's not posting on social media about it.
Let's see.
So she's not marketing herself as a fighter right now,
Yeah.
which probably means she has no interest.
Yeah.
You know? So, like I said, straight to the fucking top of the division that fight just put her at, you know?
Yep. So there's that.
And it would have been cooler if it were like a more emphatic victory, right?
Oh, for sure. There was moments in that fight where I'm like, she could put this girl away.
Just because when you score a finish, it makes the case a lot harder to fight.
Yeah.
You know, like say the UFC just doesn't want a belt on Miss I. Say that's their point of view for whatever reason, which I don't believe. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. But let's say that was their point of view. If she knocks out Caitlyn, it's harder to deny her that opportunity.
Right.
A split decision gives them a little bit of gray area,
Yeah.
which is what worries me. It has nothing to do with Jess's performance. It's how it could be rewritten. Like, revisionist history is a real thing that happens in fighting, I believe.
Yes.
Where people will be like, well, she didn't finish her last fight. And if somebody fights in between now and when they sign the next fight for Bullet,
Can be very powerful.
do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, for sure.
Like if somebody gets a brutal KO.
Yeah, if all of a sudden you see, let's see, what is this? Who's next to fight? Probably Alexa Davis. Alexa Davis comes in there, fights. Let's just throw in, I don't know. Who fucking
What's
knows?
that girl that they're trying to act like is the second coming? That Casey Barber or whatever the fuck her name is?
Casey Barber. Let's find her.
Is she a flyweight?
UFC. Casey Barber. Macy Barber?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is she a flyweight?
I'm loading up now. It's taking some time, though. It's taking some time.
It's a secret, apparently.
It is a secret. Nobody knows about her. Let's see. Strawweight.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
So yeah, I don't know, but if somebody had a miraculous victory, then maybe they could be like, ha ha, we're gonna put Jessica I on the back burner again.
Yeah, you'd have to somebody had to come in and just straight KO somebody, just straight up just starch him like that.
Right.
And then that'd be like, whoa.
If they think that somebody is more marketable, or they want to tell that lie,
Yeah.
then they could go with it. But short of that, like I don't see a reasonable way to keep this title off of Jessica.
Yeah. I would say that it'll be
And of course, I'm fucking biased.
in Q2 of next year.
But, like, Ariel Helwani is not biased. He's not from here. He doesn't corner her.
He said, go for it. Let's make
Not
this-
even go for it. Like,
So-
he thinks it's the obvious choice. And I haven't heard anybody dispute it. Like, she is the obvious choice. Let her have her time. Let her have her shot. She deserves it. She's been in this game for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Grinding.
Yeah.
She should have been the Bellator champ, and they took that opportunity away. She could have fought for the belt at 35. They took that opportunity away. And then she had a rough patch.
Mhm.
And they used that excuse to keep her down. And then she comes back and beats 3 motherfuckers in a row. And a new weight class that needs real competition within that weight class. We don't need to just be dropping stars in who are undersized to try to create a name. We need to create a division. And Jessica is a part of that division for real. JJ Champion, who I respect and I look up to in a lot of ways. She moving back down, dude. She's not trying to stay at flyweight. She was trying to get a quick belt.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, if I get this belt, that's history.
Yeah.
Respect. Do that. JJ, do that. Take that fight. I have nothing but respect for her. But to act like that was a flyweight fight is a bit silly. It's a bit disingenuous. She came into that fight like 123.
Yeah. She's like, yeah.
That's in shape and walking around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't make that weight. because you didn't have to, because you're a fucking strawweight. And you're going to go back down and you're going to try to beat up Rose again. And you should. That's where you belong. You're a 115 pounder. Nobody else at 125 deserves a shot besides Jess, and I'm done saying it. Like, it's fucking obvious. It's offensive to say anything else. Anthony?
Darren.
So that's the UFC experience.
That was the UFC experience.
Do you have weird news for us?
I sure do.
I sure do.
He said, weird,
Now that you mention it.
weird news number one. John Kavanaugh doesn't want to coach Conor McGregor anymore.
Fair. Why though?
He said because he's like, I love this man. He has 2 kids and a wife. I don't want to see him getting fucking his brains beaten in.
Because Conor doesn't need to fight anymore.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
So he doesn't want to coach him. But that's like lightweight weird news. What we need to talk
Wait, no. Let's go back to that.
All right.
What's the source of this?
This is from him, from his words. His mouth.
But like, what's like? Is it a video or what?
No, so there's no video as far as I know. There's just
Did he write this down? Like, where did you get this?
Whiskey. According to this guy, let's see. Where did this come from? Oh, told independent.ie. So it must be something. It's a news article. Paul Kimmage meets the renowned MMA coach John Kavanaugh, who gives a passionate defense on his sport and most notorious pupil. Let's see. And basically, he's just talking. They're basically going. They just. It's like basically a biop of him. There's like a long form interview of this guy, and I'm sure they probably took this out of context because who doesn't these days? MMA media.
What's the quote exactly?
The quote says, let's see. I love him. I would love the whole journey we've had, but I need a good why. It might be Nate Diaz again because he promised that fight. It might be a rematch with Khabib. But if it was just, well, they want me to fight that guy, I think I'd say, I wish you the best. So if it's not a big fight, he's not trying to coach him. Because it's not worth it.
Yeah, I think that's him looking out for his homie.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have enough money to take care of your family for the rest of their lives. And there's 2 reasons to fight. Honor and cash.
All right.
If you go and you fight Nate or Khabib, that's honor / cash, which is the best. And by fighting and becoming the first 2-weight champ in the UFC, you achieved more than anyone had in a certain context at the time that you were a fighter. You fought Floyd Mayweather for a tremendous amount of money. You now have a whiskey brand that could literally end up making you a fucking billionaire.
Yep.
Why are we fighting? Like, if it's not for honor, which would be a Nate Diaz fight because you promised, or a Khabib fight,
Right.
I don't see any logical reason to fight either. I would give him the exact same advice. I'd be like, don't do this. And I would fucking, what's his name? Hackelman. I'd Hackelman Liddell that motherfucker. I'd be like, look, I love you. I'm not cornering you.
Yeah.
I'm not helping you train for this. I don't think you should do it. And if you do it, I will cross my fingers that you end up okay and victorious. But I will not participate because I don't think it should happen. I think that's a responsible, loving thing for him to do. Again, I don't know if this is accurate, but I think that's a fucking good thing. And I think more trainers should be like that. People like being in the spotlight so much that they will allow someone else to put themselves in danger so that they can stand on the outskirts of that spotlight and get the fringe benefits of being near it. And it's selfish and wrong. Many trainers are guilty of this. Most promoters are fucking guilty of this. But many trainers are also guilty of this. So it's nice to know that John Kavanaugh had more perspective and cared more about Conor than he did about what Conor's accomplishments and exposure does for him. Respect.
That is just the good news. Here is the weird news. So what do you want to talk about first? There's a baking vending machine at Ohio State.
Say that again.
A baking vending machine?
What do you mean baking?
Bacon vending machine. Like bacon.
That's amazing.
We talk about that.
Let's talk about that right now. Tell me how it works.
We could talk about the kid accidentally.
No, stop.
Okay.
Let's talk about bacon in a machine.
Mm.
So does it cook the bacon for you?
Let's find out. I have no idea. I just picked these things up.
That's the most fire shit I've ever heard in my life.
Let's see. No, so they have no idea one of these would involve bacon. Was installed, how to say, earlier this week. It's not magical per se, but it's about the fastest way you can turn money into bacon. Pop in a buck and make your selection. Enjoy bacon. Basically, it's delivering the promise that those machines in public restrooms have been teasing you for all these years.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Jake, just make sure you make your decision
So,
quickly.
wait, no, slow down. Because you just passed that sentence over as if they could see that image.
Oh.
And so the image of the heat wave coming down as 3 red lines kind of looks like bacon. And so somebody graffitied push button
Let's make this better.
receive bacon, which I think is maybe one of the funniest things I've seen on the internet. I can't believe that's not famous. Like, that's fucking hysterical. Push button receive bacon. Like
Interact. So now you can enjoy it too if it shows up. There you go.
boom, there's the picture. Push button receive bacon. So that was the promise of the hand dryer.
Yes, it was.
Now realized in Columbus. That's so close. We have to drive down there and get bacon.
All right, this looks gross. I'm taking this off the screen. Let's go back to the actual article.
All right, so is the bacon pre-cooked? That's what I need to know.
Let's find out. So, it's a video. No, this is just a GIF, isn't it?
Coordinator at the Ohio Pork Council. And at the Ohio Pork Council, we
The Ohio Pork Council.
Yep.
pork producers to promote and educate consumers about their product.
I can't believe the Ohio Pork Council exists.
We kind of had a little bit of a crazy idea in the office one day
Okay, so this is pre-made bacon.
Yes.
to promote pork products in Ohio. And somehow we came
And it's Sugardale bacon,
up with a bacon vending machine. We decided to
which
reach out to Dr. Lida Garcia.
that brand in general isn't associated with the most quality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Turn it down a bit. Like I hate their hot dogs. Their hot dogs don't have that snap.
The Sugardale dogs.
They're super whack. But yeah, the products are ready to eat and they only cost $1. I want that bacon. I want that bacon real bad.
I just hope we don't have to like swipe a badge to get in.
And the bacon lady is cute as fuck,
She's pretty cute.
to be clear, which is also a factor.
She won't be at the.
I just think
vending
it's funny
machine.
that they're doing like pork awareness.
That is pretty funny.
Like the idea of pork awareness is hilarious on a college campus.
Especially 2018 college campus. Couldn't ask for a better movie.
Like we need awareness about blacks and trans people
Pork.
and pork.
So there's that. So in Columbus, Ohio.
And I love pork and trans people and black people.
There you go. So now,
I don't know if we need like bacon awareness,
baking vending machines sound good though.
but bacon vending machines, that sounds like fucking genius. But they test a lot of things in Columbus. Columbus is a test city.
Yeah.
Like when there's a new burger at like Burger King,
It goes to Columbus
before it's
first.
anywhere, it's in Columbus. So they're just doing the same thing with this bacon gimmick,
Mm.
which means we have to go. I'm not fucking kidding.
Okay.
Like I want to go to Columbus. We can train at Super System, get some bacon, have a party.
There you go. It's because Columbus is just middle of America.
Middle America.
So now, would you like to talk about why Sonic employees get arrested, or how a kid brought a blow-up doll to school, a sex blow-up doll to school for a nativity scene, and the people were arrested because kids found ecstasy in their kids' meals. So Sonic employees arrested.
Wait, are those two stories?
Two different stories, yes. Sex.
So you already spoiled it though.
I did, but it's still interesting.
Okay, so since we're already talking about the Sonic story,
All right.
let's continue. So were they selling ecstasy out of Sonic?
So, family discovered an ecstasy pill wrapped in their kid's meal. So the manager Tanisha, Jose, and then Jonathan. Oh, wait, go back to the picture. There was a picture. Oh, you can't see it. No, I'm sad now. There was a picture of the 3 people.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
So I want to see if they fit
I
up.
think they're doing a commercial. It'll come back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The 11-year-old daughter was opening the hamburger for her 4-year-old brother. It was a kid's meal. She opened the wrapping. She noticed a pill. Being an 11-year-old, she asked her parents if this was candy.
It's like, well, candy doesn't go on burgers, sweetheart.
Yeah. Flock told CBS Austin that dancer had an outstanding warrant for violating parole and was carrying 3 pills of ecstasy, the same type, the same size, same markings that were found inside the hamburger wrapping. According to press release to UFC.
Look, you got somebody's ecstasy. Like,
Yeah.
they were selling ecstasy out of that fucking joint.
Right.
Like, when I was a kid, they were selling heroin out of the McDonald's in my neighborhood, and they shut that shit down. Like, people sell drugs out of fast food spots. This is not news.
Yes.
But if you fuck up, the stakes are high.
Right. Kids.
Because you could literally, like, people are very sensitive, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but people are very sensitive about the idea of drugs and children. So, like, the second that you, like, and you did actually endanger children, like, not in, like, a fake way, like, not like you were smoking weed near a building. You endangered all these children.
Said no.
They were going to see you and think that weed was cool and start smoking it. It's like, no. Like, you almost dosed a baby, you fuck. Like, you almost fucking dosed a baby. You're a cunt. And here's the thing about ecstasy. I feel like it's difficult to know what the fuck is really in there. But I think if something really naughty was in there, like, because sometimes that shit's cut with, like, heroin and shit.
Right.
It could be cut these days with fucking fentanyl. Like, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they're getting that pure Molly because they didn't mention any of that shit. So at least you're getting that pure shit. Respect, Tanisha. Respect for the fact that you're getting that pure shit. But dealing it the way you're dealing it is dangerous and lame. Like, one, props for having a job and being a drug dealer.
Yes.
I think that's the right way to do it. However, you should be dealing drugs by delivery,
By carrier.
like,
or
or out of your home discreetly if you can manage it. You should not be making it so that a kid really might eat that pill without looking at it.
Right.
That's fucking dark.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Think about how terrified you would be if some kids just started fucking rolling.
That
And you were
would-
like, what? What's wrong with you? Why are you, your jaw is fucking, we gotta go to the fucking hospital, I think.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And now you're the worst parent of all time.
Yep.
And God forbid you had drugs in your house.
Yeah. That's the worst thing ever.
Good luck trying to convince them that they must have got it somewhere else.
So.
Because responsible parents could have drugs in their home in a responsible way, just like they have their gun in their home. You can have a gun safe, you can have a drug safe. Maybe we like to do Molly when we give the kids to the fucking grandparents for the weekend. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. But you overlap those two situations
It's death. It's the
and you
loss of
notice them
kids.
after they've taken it,
Yeah.
you could lose your kid because someone's selling drugs out of the fucking Sonic. And I know I'm reaching, but I'm not reaching that far.
No.
I'm really not reaching that far. So fuck all those motherfuckers who are involved. And y'all are grown as fuck too. 30, 35-year-old motherfuckers involved in this shit.
Let's see if I can show you the pic. There you go. This is what they look like below.
Fuck all you.
She-
Beat the fuck out of you.
She's like,
With a hammer.
Mm,
With a
mm.
hammer. Throw batteries at you from across the street. Then run up on you with the hammer and give you the business.
Last one. Child accidentally brings blow up sex doll to the school nativity. So for people who can't see, there's a kid who has a rubber band over his head, or dishcloth with a rubber band over it to make him look like he's wearing a.
Wait. Holy shit.
Yes.
So when you said accidentally bring sex doll,
Yeah.
I thought I would see a blow up human being.
Right.
Anthony,
Yes.
describe the doll. Describe it.
So this is a sheep wearing looks to be eyeliner, and then
That's called mascara.
mascara. You're right. No, is it? Yeah,
No, I'm kidding. I'm
so
kidding.
I think it's eyeliner.
There's
and
eyeliner and mascara.
and then I think it's like a lipsticks, maybe. Yeah, a little bit of lipstick.
Oh, that's lipstick. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes, a lot of lipstick, and then I think that is it.
This poor innocent kid.
And
So
yeah,
first of all, I really want to buy all the blow up sheep sex dolls. Like, the fact that there are animal sex dolls makes me want to have them. I can't explain that.
why?
I don't.
You can't explain it. Gotcha.
I don't even like using strokers
Right.
because I just think it's like bulky and annoying. So I'm not into fucking animals.
He said, "Moo, bitch, moo."
But the fact that exists means that I should have it in a drawer somewhere. Like, that's fucking crazy. So this poor kid probably blew that sheep up.
Yeah. No, not even. I think his mother did it.
Ew. And so mom was like, all right, here's your sheep.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's got orifices for fucking.
Yeah, she had no idea until like when the kid got in trouble at school. So, which had been listed online as Labree's kid's brown shepherd costume, inflated sheep nativity fancy dress outfit. So that whole outfit
Amazing.
came with this.
So it's a prank. Essentially, somebody was like, oh, this is a thing for a thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's actually a thing for fucking.
Yeah.
And you're gross,
And so
and your kid's in trouble.
pretty much. And they took it off Amazon, but yeah, they took it off Amazon. He said the kid wants us to keep it. You can't have the sheep. His lipstick and a bone on his head, and he still wants to play with it. Claimed it was the elf on a shelf, but yeah, it's gone. Saying the seller did not but it's
That's
a
amazing.
large hole in his bottom, along with paint on eyelashes and red lips.
A large hole in its bottom.
Yeah,
Somebody buys blow up sheep and bangs the fuck out of them. Have you ever seen the Vice piece about people that fuck sheep?
I have not. Sounds,
Oh yeah, you should watch it.
that sounds
It's
like
fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. It's in Colombia. There's a village where dudes fuck sheep, and it's like kind of sort of normal. Like you just kind of get up behind it and give it the business, usually in the bushes. And they don't film a dude doing it, but they film a dude go off into the bushes to do it. It's dark. It's dark. Deep, deep black. Dark.
Oh my god, people are so sick.
So we started out the podcast with talking about coming inside of humans, and we finished off the podcast coming inside of blow up sheep.
So I don't know why my dad's so worried about cussing.
By the way, there was a UFC. We love you guys. Goodbye, internet. XOXO.
Don't say anything weird.